By the immense grace of Shriyapati Sri Madhuri Sakhi Sameta Premikavarda Thakurji, who came as Sita Rama Yugal Sarkar, and by the immense grace of our beloved Guru Maharaj, Maharanyam Sri Muralidhara Swamiji, we are all enjoying this wonderful divine Ganga called Ramayani Ganga. Like Ganga Mata started from the Himalayas, Himavan, she is also Himavan Putri only in a way. Likewise, this Ramayani Ganga originated from Valmiki Girisambhuta, from this great hill called Valmiki, and it started coming down, and just like how Ganga Mata cleanses all the three worlds, there is Akasha Ganga, then there is this real Ganga. Gam means it is actually the terrestrial earth. When it comes and touches the earth, she is called Ganga. And there is Pathala Ganga also. She purifies all the three worlds. Likewise, this Ramayana Shastram also, like Ganga Mata, purifies all the three worlds. That Ganga is held by our Paramashiva Kailashapati on his locks. This Ganga is held by our wonderful Kailasapati in his tongue. So both are Ganga, and we are all very fortunate to take a dip in this holy Ganga called Ramayani Ganga. And yesterday we saw that our Valmiki Bhagavan was just ready to actually release this wonderful Ramayanam to all his Sishyas, and he was wondering whom to give. And when you have something to give, like a cow which is ready to be milked, if somebody does not come and take the milk, it becomes very restless. Likewise, an Acharya Purusha also, when he has that wonderful Nidhi of prema and jnana, he actually pines for a correct, apt Sishya to actually transmit all that to them. And that is the reason why our Valmiki Bhagavan was also waiting to see who shall be the lucky or the fortunate recipient of Ramayana Ganga. At that very moment came two wonderful, beautiful, divine looking boys, must be around 12 to 13 years of age. They had just finished Veda Patham with our Valmiki Bhagavan's ashram. They immediately came and prostrated to their Guru and did their Abhivadai. And the moment our Valmiki Bhagavan saw these two, he remembered, yes, these are the ones who needs to actually take Ramayani Ganga from me and give it to the world. And they were none other than our Ramachandra Prabhu's own sons, Lava and Kusha. And the moment he saw them, he felt very happy. A guru feels very happy when he finds people who are very open to receive the blessings from the Guru. Generally, when somebody takes something from us, will we ever feel happy? We feel happy when we get something from people, isn't it? But a real Mahatma feels happy when there is somebody who is ready to take these divine blessings from them. Sat Patra. And the moment he saw Lavakusa, Satu Meda Avino Drishtva Vede Shuparinishitau Vedopa Brahmanarthaya Tau Agrahayatav Prabhu. The moment he saw our Lava and Kusha, who has just finished Vedic education, and you can read a commentary of a text only when the Moolam or the original text is mastered, isn't it? Ramayanam is the commentary of Vedas, and these two children have just finished Vedic education. He felt very happy, and he thought, I shall release Ramayanam to these two children who have never failed to do their respective Gayatri mantra japa thrice a day. They have Gayatri's Pakka Anugraham, and he thought this Ramayanam, which is 24,000 verses, is an expansion of the 24-syllable Gayatri, and they would be the perfect people to take this wonderful Shastra and to actually spread it across in the world. And our Valmiki Bhagavan looked at them and said, Medhavino. Aha. They are completely well versed in Vedas, and I think for me to give Ramayana as an expansion or a commentary to Vedas, these are the right people. And Valmiki Rishi looked at this Lava and Kusha and he said, I am going to give them the commentary of Vedas. Vedopa Brahmanarthaya Tau Agrahayatav Prabhu. Immediately he called them in. Kavyam Ramayanam Kritsnam, entire Ramayana Kavyam, he made them repeat. And they were Medhavis, na? There are some people whom I myself have seen, You repeat the mantra twice, it will get by-hearted by them. In our own Padasala I have seen. They have become teachers now. They just have to hear that, mantra or shloka 10 times. Chanda Sulva. The Guru will repeat once, they will repeat twice. And then they will do a little bit of 10 times the Urun Per. They will run it 10 times. After that, they will never forget for life. You see, that's how the huge gamut of Vedas and all this Bhagavatam, there are many people who know all the 18,000 by heart. You see. So that is how they learn. In Kali Yuga, with so much distraction, with whatever diet we are having, etc., when people can be like that, imagine Lava and Kusa. The moment they heard Ramayana once, twice, thrice, they got it. You see, they remembered the entire Ramayana. And generally they won't add a little bit of extra sloka here and there. Whatever the Guru says, they will just repeat. That's all. So they learnt it from their Guru Valmiki. Paatye geye chamaduram pramane istri bhiranvitam. Our Valmiki Bhagavan taught them along with Ragam, along with the Swara, along with the speed. There is three things, right? The proper pronunciation, the proper tune, and the proper pitch, and the proper pace. And the proper delivery style. There are two delivery styles in Kirtans. Now I don't know how much they have divided. In the ancient India, they have what is called a Nagari style and Deshi style. Deshi style would be folklore type of a thing. Nagari style would be more polished. Nagarigam Nagarathilenu. But it will be very Deshi. And this is called Margi. For example, Deshi, for example, in our Madhura Geetam, it will be like how normally we speak with each other. You see, in a very, normal day-to-day language. Kasi ke kunsami undu, pusa ke kunsami undu, pandurangano, pati ke kunsami. This is our Swamiji's Kirtan in what is called as Deshi style. And Nagari style, Nagara style, will be like Namami Sadguru Devam Pakkava Swaratoda, proper Nirnayam Panni, you have to sing. So this entire Ramayana was actually delivered in the Nagara style, which means it was proper, proper, intonation, pitch, speed, and all they imbibed. Jatibihi Saptabir Yuktam Tantri Laya Samanvitam. They used to actually take the veena with them, and along with playing of the veena, they used to sing. And people used to get confused whether veena is reciting or their speech is having the tune of a veena. And they all went. And then our Valmiki Bhagavan blessed him, go place to place, spread Ramayana. Whoever calls to speak, don't worry, go and tell them. Tell exactly what I told you. You don't have to add anything at all. And you will have tremendous reception wherever you go. Slowly they went ashrama to ashrama. And all the rishis were so happy with tears in their eyes and horripilation. They listened to Ramayana. And they didn't know what to give. As such, they are all kaupinavantaha, kalubhagyavantaha. They are just loincloth rishis. But then they wanted to give something. One rishi took a little bit of a bark from the tree, made a lovely dress for them and gave them the bark, valkalam, to them. One rishi thought when they were singing with tremendous bhava, their hair, which was like, sika, used to come out all the time. So each time they have to make it right. So he brought them a rubber band. Rubber band. And one rishi gave them wonderful Upanayanam, or not Upanayanam. They gave them the divine thread for them to change whenever they want to. Some rishis gave them fruits. And some rishis looked here and there, they didn't have anything to give. They raised both their hands and said, Dirga Ayushman Bhava. You see. And slowly they went. And they came close to Ayodhya. First one to listen to that was the rishis told Vasishtha Muni, saying that, our Ramachandra Prabhu's Katha, I don't know how these children are telling. They are telling to the highest degree possible, incredible detail. And when we listen to the story, we are not listening with our ears, we are seeing with the eyes and feeling with our heart. And slowly Vasishtha heard it, Vasishtha Bhagavan. And slowly Shatrughna heard it, Bharata heard it, Lakshmana also heard it. Generally, they would say that he is telling Rama Katha. Lakshmana Swami would say, I don't have time. I will just come, give me the, I will give you the keynote address and give them invitation. Then I will leave immediately. Karuvar. 9 நாள் நகர மாட்டார். He will sit down for 9 days and shedding tears, remembering his brother, his wonderful mother, Sita Mata. He used to feel so happy listening. Slowly they all wanted Ramachandra Prabhu to listen to this. But our Ramachandra Prabhu had already sent Sita Mata to the forest. And it had been about 13 years since he sent her. And after sending Sita Mata outside, he will never show anything at all. He'll be normal, he'll come to the court, look at what the whatever little issues of politics and what governance is there, he will listen, he'll give the decisions and quietly go back to his inner chamber, shut the door and shed tears and tears remembering the love of Sita Mata. That's Ramachandra Prabhu's character. If you understand what love is, you will understand what this is. If you understand how duty bound and love is, you will understand Ramachandra Prabhu's Tyagam. So he used to cry and he never used to allow anybody to ask anything about Sita Mata. And because of his majesty, people were even hesitant to raise this topic. But one such day, Ramachandra Prabhu was on the terrace of his palace, and along with Bharatalvar, he was just walking here and there. Suddenly he heard this voice happening in some nearby mandapam. And there he heard the sweet voice of his own children, Lava and Kusha, such wonderful sweet voice. Because of the magnetism of his voice, he slowly started listening what they were saying, and they were telling his own story. And then Ramachandra Prabhu looked at Bharatalvar and said, who is these two children who are singing my story? What will Bharatalvar say? He knew 99% it was Ramachandra Prabhu's children. Can he ever even tell him that? But he couldn't. That once he said, these are wonderful two children, they are from Valmiki Ashrama and they are singing, Anna, I also heard their wonderful Ramayanam. They are telling our family story perfectly and it is like reliving the entire story. We were all hoping that yourself will also listen to it. Ramachandra Prabhu said, how can I call them and say, please sing my story? It won't be right. But I need to listen to that story because Valmiki Bhagavan has blessed that story, Rishi Pranitam. So let us not do it in our home. Let us do it as a part of the Ashwamedha Yaga which we are doing. So the whole party goes to Naimisharanya, where Ramachandra Prabhu was sitting in a wonderful throne. And these were the two youngsters, lovely little children, 12 years old, with eyes blooming like lotuses, voice as sweet as honey. And all the family of Ramachandra Prabhu were awestruck looking at the children because Tau tu Gandharva Tatvajño Sthanamurchana Kovidau. They were perfect in theory of Kirtanam. And not only that, Sthanamurchana Kovidau. They knew how to actually sing which voices or which sounds has to come from the heart. From the chest, sound or no. Some sound has to come from throat. Some sound has to come from nasal and above. So they knew where to give the correct emphasis, what type of tone to use, etc. Perfect. Some people may be very good in theory of music. They will say this raga has this, sajjamark, madhyamark, but they can't sing. We can't hear them sing. Some people sing very well. They won't know the theory of music. Here they knew both. They knew exactly how to actually voice out that song, which parts of the songs need to be coming from their deep viral sounds. Some sounds need to come from throat, some sounds need to come from the nose, etc. Tau tu Gandharva Tatvajño. Gandharva Vidya means music and dance. They were all well versed in that. Sthanamurchana Kovidau. They were very good in delivery. Bhratarau. They were all twins, Lava and Kusha. Swarasampannau. Gandharvau Ivarupino. They were looking so beautiful. Gandharva Marunda. They didn't look like humans at all. Rupalakshana Sampannau. Generally, when somebody is a performance, they call it stage presence. All said and done, the voice may be great, but the artist needs to have what is called a stage presence. And our Shastras allow even little bit makeup, presence. So all this makeup is all allowed for the artists who are going there to sing or dance, etc. Because that's how the stage presence is created for those who don't have naturally all that. You see, at least to put up and do something. But here, Rupalakshana Sampannau, Rishi Kumaras, with a normal, barks as their dress, Madhuraswara Bhashino. When they utter every sound, it is so Madhuram. And then people were looking at these two children, then Ramachandra Prabhu. Ramachandra Prabhu, these two children. They looked as if it was mirror images of each other, you see. Bimbadi otitau bimbau Rama deha tataparau. It appeared as if Ramachandra Prabhu went to a place where there were two life-size mirrors, 45 degrees like that. When you look at these two life-size mirrors, you will get two images of you as a reflection. Na? Suppose Ramachandra Prabhu said, come, and the two images came out. How will they be? Lava Kusha were like that, it seems. They were looking like wonderful, smaller version of a Ramachandra Prabhu when he was 12 years old. And then Bharatalvar is telling Lakshmana Swami that when we look at all the other features, they resemble Ramachandra Prabhu. But the compassion of their eyes, our Sita Mata is what they resemble. Kandla and the Karunarke, adu namba Sita Manni Mari irukupar, abdinrara. And when they are looking at it, they were wonderfully waiting. They were tuning their veena. And they were waiting for Ramachandra Prabhu to say, Arula Padu, please sing, you see. Tatastutau Rama vacha prajotitau aghayatam marga vidhana sampada. The moment Ramachandra Prabhu said, you can start, immediately they started. And sachapi Rama parishad gatashanaihi. As they were telling Ramayana slowly, koshalo nama mudita na aramicha. And Ramachandra Prabhu was sitting majestically like this. As they went on telling Rama Katha, slowly Ramachandra Prabhu descended from 4 steps. He was in a golden chariot, Ajanu Bahu, majesty embodied. Slowly he descended. First step lokandar. He came down to 2nd step, 3rd step, 4th step. Slowly he started sitting. Kira vandu ibudi vandu kekkararam. Ramachandra Prabhu. He forgot himself. Because when he saw these two children, immediately he understood they were his children. And obviously an affection should have come, na? That was not the reason. He being Bhagavan has promised to Narada that na akham vasami vaikunte na yogi kridaye ravo mad bhaktaha yatra gayanti tatra tishtami Narada. He says, where my devotees come and sing my glories, I come and stand there, Narada. I won't stay in Vaikunta or in Surya Mandala Madhyavarti or in the hearts of yogis who try to control me with their yama, niyama, asana, pranayama and all that. The moment everybody comes and sings my names, I go and stand there. And him being Bhagavan, and there the children were singing, he had to show his Bhagavat Swabhava or the nature that is bound. Slowly he started inching towards Lava and Kusha, and he was just looking at both of them, drinking in their wonderful words, shedding copious tears, remembering how each of his family members sacrificed for him. He was not listening to his Katha, he was listening to Ramacharitram, his others. Ramachandra Prabhu was listening to Bharata's Charitram, Lakshmana's Charitram, Sita Mata's Charitram, his father's Charitram, his mother's Charitram, his friend's Charitram, and his Sevaka's Charitram. And he was shedding tears, thinking how much everybody served me in gratitude. Kritagnyaschailya. Kritagne nasti nishkritihi, says Mahabharatam and Ramayanam, that if we forget gratitude, there is no uplift for us. Ramachandra Prabhu was shedding joy, tears of joy, remembering the gratitude and the amount of trouble everybody underwent because of his tyagam. And our children started, beautifully starting, they started telling the Katha. Generally, when you start a Kavyam, it should start with a country, it should start with a small city, and how the Nadi is there. There is a grammar for how you make a Kavyam. This is Sahitya. Kosalo nama muditaha spito janapado mahani vinashtaha sarayotire prabhute danadhanyavan. There was once a wonderful kingdom called Kosala. And in that Kosalam, the headquarters is called Ayodhya. Ayodhya means where nobody can conquer by a war. In fact, Vaikuntham is also called Ayodhya in Vedam. Vedatla Ayodhya nale Vaikuntham. Ayodhya nama nagari tatra asid loka vishruta manuna manavendrena yapuri nirmita swayam. Our Manu, who is the first, the human being to rule our earth. The word human must have come from Manu. The U edutanga minadi pottaanu nenikiren. So, and Manu was the first, first Raja. You see, and he is the one who gave us the Shastra of how a human being should conduct social etiquette and all that stuff. And Manu actually created this wonderful Ayodhya. He planned the entire city with all these wonderful central squares and all the roads leading to the actual palace and all that he created, it seems. And how was this wonderful city? Our Valmiki Bhagavan and Kamban, they vie with each other to show the greatness of Ayodhya. Na Akundali, not even one person in Ayodhya did not move around without earrings. Na Kundali, na Makuti, everybody was wearing a lovely crown. Na Asragvi, na Alpa Bhogavani. There was nobody who was on diet, it seems. They all ate well, very healthy. Everybody had a lovely, scent. They were all fragrant with scent. Na Mrushto, na Nuliptango, na Sugandhascha Vidyate. There was nobody who was poor there. Everybody was well-to-do. Everybody was well-to-do because there was this abundance of crops and food items, which was even exported outside of Kosalam. The abundance of food items was because of a divine river called Sarayu Nadi, which was running through Ayodhya. The abundance of water of Sarayu Nadi was because of timely rains. Generally, our Andal says, Madam Mummari Peidu. That generally we should not have rains which suddenly starts pouring for 3 days, everything is submerged, all the water will go to Bay of Bengal. You see. And then again in the summer, lack of water. You see, thrice a month, perfect rain should come. It should rain. 9 days, silence. The water will seep inside, add to the water table. And the 10th day, again rain. And again on the 20th day, rain. And again on the 31st day, rain. In the Mari, monthly 3 times it should rain, it seems. And it was raining like that, just filling the right, water bodies, etc. How was it raining properly in all these 3 times a month and without monsoon fail, etc.? Is because all the people of that kingdom were all dharmic, it seems. They followed dharma. They didn't lie. They didn't cheat. They followed truth. They followed dharma. They followed compassion. And how come all the people in this kingdom followed compassion? Their Raja, Dasharatha Maharaja, was a dharmic person. And because he was a dharmic person, the people were dharmic. Because people were dharmic, the monsoons didn't fail them. And because monsoons didn't fail, the river was flowing the right quantity, nourishing the fertile lands. Because of fertile lands, the food was never always in surplus. Annam bahugurvita tat vratham. And all that food they also ate properly. They traded, they got all these wonderful jewels and wonderful ornaments, and they lived a wonderful life in Ayodhya. Kaschinno Kaschinarova Nariva Na Shriman Na Api Arupavan. Everybody was very beautiful to look at, it seems. Konja paakarthukku sumara irundha veliyuro appdin keppan. And Na Ashriman, nobody was poor, nobody was, they never complained, they were all having such a lovely life. Drashtum Sakyam Ayodhyayam Na Api Rajanya Bhiktiman. Everybody loved their king with all their heart, like their own father. They looked upon Dasharatha. Everybody. There was no opposition at all. Everybody loved their king. And the king loved everybody. Kamban says, do you know how Dasharatha took care of his subjects? Taivokkum anbin tavamokkum nalan payappin. He was like a mother to everybody, it seems. If a minister comes a little late, he'll hold the hand, he'll say, Mantriji, what happened? Are you all okay? Did you get breakfast in time? Why are you late today? Do you need anything? Let me know. Like a mother, taking an initiative to ask how people are. Tavamokkum nalampayappin. In actually being, showering welfare to all his wonderful subjects, he was like tapas. You see, you think prosperity is an important thing, it can be a headache also, na? No. The real currency which will help us in well-being is our penance. If you want a very simple example, if you have, say, a currency note, it can be used somewhere. If you have a credit card, international credit card, you see, wherever you go, credit card will work. In some places, only credit card works. I realized it. Flight la. When I give them note, no, only credit card indra. Naane kadan vaangama unak nera tharendra. Likewise, tapas irukku pathela. Tapas can be encashed as health. Tapas can be encashed as resources. Tapas can be enhanced or encashed as mental peace. Tapas can be encashed as actually giving resources to others also. Tapas da real Shri. So here he is saying, Tavamokkum nalam payappin. Like how our penance would always come to our rescue whenever we need it. Penance means different for different people. For a yogi, penance means control of breath. For a jnana margi, tapas means constantly watching if my thoughts are rising or not. If an extra thought unnecessarily comes, they will feel very upset and try to subside the number of thoughts is what tapas is for a jnana margi. For a bhakta, tapas is how much nama we actually chant in our mouth. Adha namakku tapas, you see. So tapas is different for different margis. But any marga, it is the penance which actually comes to our rescue when we need it the most. Even if we have to reap the fruit of a papam, tapas irundhu vechukonga, adu அப்படியே வரா மாதிரி வந்துட்டு அப்படி போய்டும். It won't affect us much. Tapas will be our shield. It is our kavacham. You see? So our Dasharatha was like penance to actually give welfare to all his subjects in all possible ways. Seyokkum munnindru oru selgadi uikkum neeral. And he says, like a child who constantly is concerned about the welfare of their parents, our Dasharatha becomes a child when somebody, generally nobody would go or leave their body without leaving a progeny to take care. Suppose there is a rare exception of somebody dying and nobody to take care of their shraddam, our Dasharatha will be there and kaila kurchathoda vanduvaram, saying that I know that this chap does not have a sandadi, so I am going to do the shraddam for him. Like a child, he will be ready to take care of them. Noyokkum ennin marundu okkum. Another I request for those who have Tamil as a mother tongue, I beg you to please teach that to your children, because you have no idea what they are losing. ஆழ்வார் பாசுரங்களோ இல்லைன்னா நம்மளுடைய நாயன்மாரோட பதிகங்களோ கம்பனுடைய ராமாயணமோ இதெல்லாம் you can't translate. There is, I'm sorry to say this, but there is no English literature which come even close to all this because of premai and bhakti which is infused there. இல்லையா? அதில் சொல்கிறார், if somebody tries to play nasty with Dasharatha, do you know who will take care of him? Like a disease. You can go and hide anywhere, but along with you the disease will come. So nobody dare to even do anything against the wishes of the kingdom, because if anybody did something wrong, he will be punished unfailingly like a disease. And then immediately, ennin marundu okkum, the moment he repents, everything is forgotten. Like how a medicine can completely take care of a disease. Every ஒரு 4 வார்த்தையில பெரிய கதையை சொல்லிட்டார் பார்த்தீங்களா? 4 words, he has told the whole story. நோய் ஒக்கும் என்னின் மருந்து ஒக்கும். Finish. He will be like a disease for those who try to do nasty things, crimes. And the moment they change, everything is forgotten, forgiven, like a medicine. You see, he will become a medicine. Nunangu kelviya pugungal arivokkum everkum annan. And he gave joy to everybody like the intelligence of people. The greatest joy we all get is not in ice cream, that's how we grow up. And then over time, why do people solve Sudoku? Adala irka illaya po? Or crossword or puzzles? Because there is a joy in solving something when the intelligence is actually applied, isn't it? That's the highest joy you can ever think of in this world, apart from all the other spiritual stuff, etc. So he says, like how intelligence gives tremendous joy to a person, our Dasharatha gave tremendous joy to all his subjects. Idella 4 line. In the Mari he has written 20 verses. Beautiful. Everkum annan, for everybody, no discrimination. Anybody who is a subject is treated that way. And Dasharatha was ably guided by 8 wonderful council of ministers. Drishtir Jayanto Vijayas Siddhartho Arthasadakaha. Each of the names have wonderful meaning. Since Valmiki said that is their name, I think they were all born to be the counsel for Dasharatha, I think. Drishtihi, Jayanto, Vijaya, Siddhartho, Artha Sadakaha, Ashoko, Mantrapalascha, Sumantrascha, Ashtamo, Abhavat. 8 wonderful ministers. Do you know why 8 are required? Because recently they say that intelligence is not a single track. In fact, it is 8-fold. You see, when children are growing up in the primary school, generally our intelligence was measured around 40-50 years back only by one thing. 4-letter word, rank. Rank. But actually now they have gone a little more intelligent to understand intelligence. They say there are 8 types of intelligence. The first type of intelligence is called spatial intelligence, which means a spatial judgment is called visual intelligence. The second type of intelligence is called linguistic intelligence. How aptly they are using words, how beautifully they are expressing their mind, etc. So visual, linguistic, then logical. We all understand mathematical, logical intelligence. How do we analyze problems and how do we make a problem into a mathematical model to solve it? It stems from that only. And then you have bodily intelligence, which is kinesthetic intelligence. You know, the physical movement and the control of our body, etc., all the dance and the performing arts and all, other intelligence. It's kinesthetic intelligence, bodily. Then there is a musical intelligence. There are some people who catch up a rhythm immediately and they understand rhythm, they understand music. Then there is an interpersonal intelligence. Some people have their way. They give a very famous tiffin in Tamil Nadu and somehow create wonderful bondage with people. Pongal poduvan solla. Interpersonal intelligence, you see. And then there is an intrapersonal intelligence, which means they understand what it's called emotional intelligence nowadays. I know what I am doing. Kadasiya, there is a naturalistic intelligence where they see patterns, they see relationship, and politics is very important. This naturalistic intelligence where they understand the whole system, they understand if I change this, what will happen there, and the madri. So, Ashta Buddhi Venoliya, and the 8 intelligence very specialist in each of those wonderful intelligences. And our Dasharatha had 8 of them in the council, and more than anything was willing to listen to them. You see, he listens to them, gets their counsel, and imagine the intelligence of Dasharatha when Dasharatha Maharaja would correct them, it seems, when they make a mistake. So he was an epitome of all the 8 intelligences. Such was the father of Rama. Abdina Ramachandra Prabhu, Pitaram Rochayamasa, why not? You see, such a wonderful, compassionate heart, and a very dutiful Kshatriya, and a very caring king, and also very intelligent, and also having tremendous love for Bhagavan. So that was our Dasharatha.